What's good, everybody? It is Mighty Man WBA here, back with the third episode of the WWE Draft Co-op with Nathan.
Luga Baruga.
I'm calling you something different every time in the openings, I think.
Yeah, pretty
Something
much.
between Nathan and No Legs. Anyway, we are back with the second Raw of the series. It's our third episode. We're going to jump straight in. Go on.
And tonight we find out who will be representing Team Raw in the big 5v5 tag match at Survivor Series in just 2 weeks' time.
I think you have announced the women's team in it as well.
Yeah, we do. Both of the tag matches, all of the tags, as we kick things off with an 84B+, where Kurt Angle announces a Survivor Series qualification matches. So, tonight, Bobby Roode will get his rematch with Shelton Benjamin. The winner will be part of Team Raw. There will be an opening tag team match where the winners not only represent Team Raw, but they captain Team Raw. And we will have a 5-way match between all of our Team Raw women, where the winner will be the captain of the Team Raw women. All that and more to come tonight, as Seth Rollins also defends his Intercontinental Championship, because we are stacked here on Monday Night Raw.
Okay, so we jump in to the first match,
which gets a 68C+, where the Club, the Revival, and the Usos all fall to Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, the team of Ziggler-tire, as Drew pins Scott Dawson with the combination of the zigzag and the Claymore. A big victory there for the Scotsman and the American, as they will captain our team in 2 weeks' time.
Ziggler-tire. Interesting name.
Ziggler-tire. The official name.
Yeah, so both the Revival and the Usos all have shit gimmicks.
So, but they also have great chemistry when teaming together, so yeah. Every cloud has a silver lining.
Usos got some very good ratings, actually. 71 and a 74. Some improvements through the teams as well. Drew in performance, Jimmy Rumble, Dolphin flying, and Gallows in his performance.
Just what you want.
We'll move into the next segment.
Which gets a 74B-. Kurt Angle is backstage, and Ronda Rousey walks into his locker room, and she starts to talk about Kurt, about Survivor Series, when BAM! The man lays her out. It's Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch beats the ever-living daylights out of Ronda Rousey before getting dragged away by the security. Kurt Angle turns to Ronda Rousey and he says, "Ronda, are you all right?" And she mutters out her final words,
"No,
I don't give a damn about my reputation." Dun 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 dun.
Anyway, the SmackDown invasion has begun. Becky Lynch coming in, beating up your women's champ, because she ain't shit. Becky is the real champ. SmackDown is the best.
And you could say that he is talking smack here as we push forward with the show. As what do we have next? We have a 51D+ where Cedric Alexander, your number one contender to the Cruiserweight Championship, he defeats the gentleman Jack Gallagher in just under 6 minutes with a lumbar check. How nice of him to check Gallagher's back.
Decent little Cruiserweight match, considering they are both fairly low down the card. But be interesting to see how Cedric does against Buddy Murphy.
Then Dean Ambrose walks away from an interview backstage. He refused to speak and explain his actions last week. He beat the ever-living daylights out of Seth Rollins after confirming himself to be 1/3 or 1/3 of the challengers for the Universal Championship at Survivor Series. Will we ever hear Dean Ambrose speak? Who knows, but all we do know is that he's a lunatic maggle.
Maggle's on my show.
Maggle.
He's a lunatic Mara.
Mamma Mia's. Then, in our next qualifying matchup, Finn Balor defeats the weird man who knows what day it is, Luke Harper, in 13:07 with the Coup de Grace. A solid match there, probably better than anything Mike's done so far.
I think it is, actually.
Isn't that sad?
Balor with an 81. Harper disappointing 55.
You'd expect from Luke Harper, but
he's usually very solid.
He is, yeah, solid as a rock. Dun, dun.
No, this is getting done for copyright now. No, next up.
We have a 63C where Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, they were given the right to name one member of their team, and they pick the Bulgarian Brute, the European Euro, the daddy himself, Rusev, as he is on Team Raw.
Ignore this.
Will he get along well with Drew and Dolph? Who knows? As we have just been instructed to ignore that Aiden English helped Rusev during this segment and that they have great chemistry. 63C.
Aiden English, he just still really wants to be friends with Rusev. He's really sorry for what happened. Just wants to be friends with him again.
As the SmackDown Live invasion continues, because I didn't draft Aiden English.
It's all part of my plan.
We then have our women's captainship rights match as Alexa Bliss, she gets the win as she pins Ember Moon in a match that also involved Mickie James, Natty and Sasha Banks, as she pins Ember Moon with a Twisted Bliss. By God, would you believe it, King? Twisted Bliss, Little Miss Bliss, 5 Feet of Fury is your Team Raw captain. And how can SmackDown compete with that? Spoiler alert, they can't.
Well,
63C.
Maybe so, but you'll find out on SmackDown next week.
Ooh. Not this week, next week.
Well, yeah, at some point. Weeks start on Tuesdays.
We then have a 94A as Mike rolls over in his grave right now. The crowd's quiet. You hear a faint chants of Lesnar, Lesnar, and then the music kicks in and it's dun 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 dun. And Paul Heyman walks out, Brock Lesnar flaunting behind him as he carries a cardboard championship because he's not Universal Champion anymore. Paul Heyman starts talking about how he's destroyed Dean Ambrose, about how he's destroyed John Cena. And Brock Lesnar's done that too. And it's Survivor Series that will be repeated. History will occur once again as Brock Lesnar will once again be your 2-time Universal Champion. A 94A, just remember that.
Not bad.
We then have a 67C plus as we go from 2 old men to 2 more old men. As Shelton Benjamin defeats Bobby Roode once again with a surprise roll-up. That's back-to-back roll-up victories for Shelton over Bobby Roode. And Shelton Benjamin is now part of Team Monday Night Raw. Solid match.
Decent, yeah.
And then, what do we have? We have a 95A star as Mike rolls over in his grave once again. There's a lot of space in his coffin. As Seth Rollins storms out, he gets a match, he gets a lighter, and he says, "Burn it down!" But John Cena won't do that. He interrupts him. He says, "I've got too much loyalty to this company and I've got too much respect for this company to burn it down." John Cena accepts Seth Rollins' open challenge. They both did well off script, which is why this promo that you're hearing from me is so damn good. A 95A star before our main event there for the Intercontinental Championship. How does it go down? It goes down awfully on your mum, as John Cena and Seth Rollins don't seem to click, as they draw in 16.5 minutes when Dean Ambrose lays out both men with the dirty deeds. An incredibly underwhelming main event there. It was so good. Brock Lesnar was great. The promo was great. And then both men just have a heart attack and shit the bed. A 68C plus, you expect a lot better from that.
Yeah.
But at least John Cena's improving in Rumble skills.
2 good in-ring performances as well, so it is a shame that a mixture of the interference and the bad chemistry there really ruined that, because that would have been a good match rating otherwise.
Yeah, we would have had a great overall show rating. In the end, what does the show get? 76B- again. So that is tied for the show to beat. That's 2 shows I've had, and Mike hasn't come close to being better than any of them.
Well, to be fair, it helps that you have a general manager that can speak English.
Well, that's why I drafted one. You've got a person whose literal name is English, so no excuses.
And yet he's been on your show more than mine. Yeah.
Well, it is Monday Night Raw, the flagship show where the big boys play and where the great girls play. No gender defying here. This is Monday Night Raw, the flagship show.
Just trying to wait for this to load and then check our emails. Ziggler wants to get some momentum despite winning on the last show, which is interesting.
Dolph Ziggler likes to whine a lot. Dolph Ziggler is what I like to call in life a sad little bitch. He's a man. He's a grown man. He's almost 40. He used to sleep with Nikki Bella. He's a multi-time world champion. He's rich as all hell. And the only time you ever hear him talk, all that comes out of his mouth is, where, I'm Dolph Ziggler and I suck.
In other news, Bully Ray loaned to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh boy, is that a big announcement.
But that is all for this episode of the WWE Co-op Draft. We will see you guys at some point for SmackDown Live. See you then.
Yeet.